Welcome to Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Your host, V&M General Manager Kevin Jean and Iowa Ranger Pro Staffer Steve Graff will keep you up to date on what's happening on the best lakes in the Ark-La-Tex region, with a primary focus on Sam Rayburn and Toledo Bend, two guys who have fished at a high level with Pro-Am experience with ABA, BFL's Toyota Series, and BASS Opens. Anglers with a wealth of knowledge and willing to share. So pull up a chair, kick back, and see why so many anglers watch Tackle Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
Thank you for tuning us in. You're watching Tackle Talk Live. I'm Ranger Diver Pro Staffer Steve Graff, along with V&M President, General Manager Kevin Jean. And folks, today we're jumping ahead. We're going all the way to 2022. We're going to tell you what's going on. Schedules are out. Guys are making plans. They're making reservations. They're reserving cabins wherever they're going to be staying. And so today we're going to give you a little preview of the stuff that we know in this region that is very popular. And we're going to kind of give you some cover each lake one at a time and each circuit one at a time, and kind of a little preview of each one of these as we get started here. This segment is presented by Toledo Health, the Boat Shop, and 3J's 4-Way of Cypress and the Outdoors. Also, Cypress and located right inside 3J's 4-Way. Check it out if you're in the area. Let's start, Kevin. Let's just jump right into it, man. Bassmaster Central Open. I mean, you kind of feel the same on this one. This is a tough deal right here.
Well, and you say it's tough, Steve. I love it. It's a small little circle for us. This year, the Bassmaster Central Opens, we did not have an event in Texas or Louisiana.
Yeah. You had to travel at least 6 hours.
And now they're going, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas. They kind of shifted the Opens here, but Steve,
you're 4.5 hours from Ross Barnett.
Yeah.
Red River's in our backyard.
And Sam Rayburn's 2 hours. You're in a 6-hour window where this year they're finishing up the Opens this year on Grand Lake. They just finished Smith Lake.
Right.
So
making it that small a circle for this region, that good or bad? I mean, how the Oklahoma guys or Arkansas guys?
It's the Opens. They're still going to draw, but Steve,
right.
Not really the circle. Not the the distance doesn't bother me. And don't get me, we live here in Natchitoches. We're Red River. We would love to see tournaments at Red River, but Steve, they're going Ross Barnett and Red River.
Yeah.
So.
And me and Kevin have both fished Ross Barnett, and I can tell you from my perspective, that sucker fish is small. And you get 350 boats on Ross Barnett, good luck. There's going to be some collisions take place, and there's going to be a little blood pressure going to be going up a little bit with some guys.
And Steve, we both know a lot of, and you yourself are talking about trying to get in the Red River Open.
Hopefully.
I know a bunch of guys from right here, from Alexandria to Shreveport, Natchitoches, all of this crew of guys that's might fish the Opens this year, or at least try to get in that one just because it is Red River. Yep. It's here at home for us. But, Steve, how many guys are they losing that are not Louisiana, East Texas people that say, I don't want to go to Ross Barnett. I don't want to go to Red River. And then Sam Rayburn in October, there's only going to be a select few guys that most likely is going to win that. Well, how many boats are they going to lose?
I actually think they're taking advantage of their popularity. You and I both know. I mean, even a few weeks ago, I had an opportunity to visit with Andrew Upshaw, and Andrew was talking about how many people are fishing the Opens. He said, I don't care where you go. There's 350 to 400 boats per event. And so, again, I'm like you on Ross Barnett. And then you come into Red River, and Red River's a long body of water, but you and I both know some guys will run all the way to Pool 3 down here, which is a 2.5 hour run.
I would do if I was fishing it. But so let's Red River. So you get to go to Shreveport, stay in Boat State, Red River, South Marina, nice place.
Yeah, great.
Who wants to go to Jackson, Mississippi?
Look, not me. Been there 2 or 3 times, and I didn't enjoy the visit at all. Things happen there that it's just, I don't know. It's just not, to me, it's not a great place.
Interesting Bass Central Open schedule, to say the least. Glad they're coming right here to Red River for all of us guys. Red River, Sam Rayburn, can't get much better than that, but gosh,
but Kevin, we both know what the deal is. Who's putting up the money?
Oh, it's all about who's putting
It's all about who's putting up the money. We all know that, and as anglers, we understand that. But anyway, all right, next, MLF Toyota Series. Now, this is a good schedule.
Yeah,
I like this schedule.
Sure. I just wish Texoma would be Toledo Bend. So February 10th through the 12th is Sam Rayburn.
But okay, stop right there. Why aren't we going back to Toledo Bend in any circuit? It's not listed now. There's only one place I see, and that's Bass Champs
and Cowboy in the BFLs.
Yeah, that's it. Why aren't these major circuits? Has it lost its reputation?
All I can say is the Sabine Tours Commission, the SRA, guys, we've got to get more tournaments, these bigger tournaments, back to Toledo Bend. The fishing is not that bad. The fishing right now is pretty good. Yeah. There's no reason.
You think they're out of money?
No. Well, we're not going to get into the SRA money issues. But
that's another show.
That's a whole nother sponsored by Toledo Health show right there. We have to get these tournaments, some tournaments. But when people are going to Sam Rayburn twice, and Texoma, why is Texoma taking all the Toledo Bend events?
I really don't have an answer because I can tell you from my experience being there twice this year, fishing ain't great.
Toledo Bend is better than Texoma.
It's a struggle to go to Texoma.
Toledo Bend is better than Texoma.
Oh, heck, I don't. It's not even. It's probably not even a contest.
And we're going to get into this later. But the 150, this ABA Solo 150, they're not coming back to Toledo Bend. They're going to Texoma.
Now we'll say this on Texoma, an April event. It is going to be better than what it was for September and October.
Is it better than Toledo Bend in April?
No, I don't think any of these are better than. I don't care. Well, now Rayburn would be, but nobody else is going to be better than Toledo Bend.
So let's go back to the schedule. So we have February 10th to the 12th, Sam Rayburn.
Right. Great time to be there.
April 7th through the 9th, Texoma.
Right. Probably tail end of the spawn, I would think.
Yeah. May 4th through the 6th, Sam Rayburn. For this local area, that is a good schedule.
Oh, heck yeah.
That's a good schedule.
If you're looking for a major tournament to fish, another major trail fish, that's a great one.
Rayburn's going to, if their payback was a little better.
I agree.
Payback on the Toyotas is just
That's another show.
That's another show. Anyway, we're just talking about tournament schedules today. So, but for us locally, Sam Rayburn's going to draw your numbers.
Right.
Sam Rayburn has enough fishermen that's going to want to fish just Sam Rayburn. If they can fish 2 out of 3 events, for that kind of money on Sam Rayburn, they're going to do it. So because of that, they're going to have a good draw.
Yep. No, you're right. Yep.
I think for Toyota Series, this was pretty smart.
Yeah. No. Oh, I agree.
Does that make sense?
I do. I said I think it's a great circuit. Again, Texoma for Toledo Bend. Toledo Bend would have been a better substitution for in there, but does that keep it too small a region for those guys?
I think
here's what's going to happen,
Steve. You're going to have enough draw just for Sam Rayburn alone.
Well, you will, but my point is like those Dallas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, even Louisiana, some North Louisiana, they're going to complain that we're going to Rayburn all the time. We're donating to the same guys, tournament after tournament. The same guys win. Why don't we go to Toledo? Why don't we go somewhere else? But we all know.
I'm going to get on my
until
Toledo
Rayburn
soapbox.
quits drawing.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that's going to change.
Well, their reaction, if you was to call MLF, why are you going there? Look at the numbers.
Yeah, I mean,
Sam Rayburn draws more than anybody else out there. Yeah. I understand going there twice. Just throw Toledo Bend in there instead of Texoma.
Exactly. Bass Champs, East Region, no surprise, good turnout. Finally, Toledo Bend getting a little play here. Sam Rayburn, January 22nd. Toledo Bend, February 12th. March 5th, back to Rayburn. And May 14th, Toledo Bend. So by May, you're done with Bass Champs East Region.
Yeah, and Steve, one thing I wish Bass Champs did, and tell me your opinion here, I wish they would announce where the championship's going to be at.
I've actually talked to Chad about this a couple of times, and there's 2 schools of thought on it. And I told him, I said, when the BFL schedule comes out, what's the first thing we look at?
The regional.
Where's the regional? That determines where so many guys, whether they fish that circuit or not, which we'll get to that in just a minute. But when you see where that's at, that pulls guys in. Now, again, it may push some guys away. And Chad feels like, number one, they don't have their commitment from whoever at that point.
Right.
They don't know. They still don't know.
I just need a list. I just need a list. I need to know what's on that list. Now, because if we're going back to OHIV, I'm not fishing them this year.
Well, let me just go ahead and tell you now.
And that did not go over well.
No, they took some heat on that one.
I got told they were stacked on top of one another. And guys, for you, everybody that's watching live, give us your feedback, give us your comments. We got it pulled up on our screens here. Give us your feedback on all this. But yes, we did hear the Bass Championship did not go over well. As far as the amount of boats on a small body of water like that.
And again, it goes back to the same old thing. Who's putting up the money? And that's where these circuit tournament directors have got to go. Shreveport's done a great job. Bass Champs has been on the river how many times? 3 times?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people upset when they were on the Red River. Well, now they go to OH Ivy and they're upset again. So
well, I get it. I understand why you're not announcing it. But from somebody like me, I'm sitting here trying to look at all these schedules. I'm trying to decide what I want to fish next year. I've got a 10-year-old daughter that plays softball, so I can't fish near as much as I used to.
Exactly.
So I'm sitting here trying to decide on what I want to fish. But, man, I like that Bass Champ schedule because it comes to Toledo twice for me.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go to OH Ivy for a championship.
How many people are you losing by not having Toledo on there? Like, for example, the one we just talked about with the Toyota Series. Just because it ain't going – how many Toledo Bend guys would fish this circuit probably if it was coming to Toledo?
Texoma, I don't get the big. I guess I do understand the Texoma thing. Texoma is on so many of these schedules here, Steve. Do they just do that good of a job of trying to lure these tournaments in? It's Toledo been that bad of trying to recruit these tournaments?
Denison and Sherman area, those Chamber of Commerce, they do. Pardon the expression, they do reel them in. I mean, they're pulling tournaments in there. And now the difference is Highport Marina, which is where all these major tournaments go out of, there will be no tournaments out of Highport from Memorial Day till Labor Day. They do not allow any tournaments. So that's why you're seeing a Texoma schedule. All this is before Labor Day or before Memorial Day or after Labor Day. That's the events that will be going to Highport. Because we did one out of the Oklahoma side. Whew, man, I tell you what, I love you guys at Catfish Bay, but that's a rough area to go out of on that side of the lake, and just hard finding places to stay.
Again, for Bass Champs, great schedule. Sam Raven, Toledo, Sam Raven, Toledo. You will get 200 boats that commit to that. There's 200 guys that want to fish Sam Raven, Toledo Bend.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad they're at least giving Toledo Bend 2 this year. Thankful for that. And I don't understand why you wouldn't. Sorry, I got to turn this down here. I don't know why you wouldn't, because right now that tournament schedule on Sam Raven is brutal.
No, I agree.
Very brutal.
I agree. MLF BFL Cowboy Division, and as we've already alluded to, what's the first thing we looked at, Kevin?
The Cowboy Division, it's Sam Rayburn, Toledo Bend, Sam Rayburn, Lake of the Pines, Sam Rayburn.
Sam Rayburn in there 3 times.
Yeah.
Sam Rayburn's in there. And that's
it goes back
division.
to the draw. It goes back to the draw. So January 8th, Sam Rayburn. February 5th, Toledo Bend. April 2nd, Sam Rayburn. May 14th, Lake of the Pines. I like to see Lake of the Pines on there.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, that's a great place to go. Now, here's the problem at Lake of the Pines, and I've been there. I don't know if you've been there lately. It's hard. There's not a great boat ramp on. If you're guys in the Longview, Jefferson area, y'all need to get together. Y'all need to build a really nice launch facility at Lake of the Pines, because I'm telling you, if you ever do that,
you would have more tournaments.
Oh,
you would have more tournaments.
I'm telling you, that's a great fishery.
It's a little small. Somebody like Bass Champ, somebody couldn't go there. BFL, I think, is the right size.
Yes. I fished the BFL there last year, and it was a great turnout. Great event.
For the BFL, this schedule is okay. Even the Sam Rayburn 3 times, I'm glad they're at least coming to Toledo Bend once. They've mixed in Lake of the Pines. But, Steve, the 2-day is August 27th and 28th. Why?
Man,
it's always been September 25th, and I know they have their reason in the scheduling, but
it's probably boat ramp availability. I'm telling you, that's got a lot to do with it now.
You could have went to Toledo in the end of September or something.
Yeah,
2-day in the end of August?
Yep. Now, I didn't see it, and I didn't even put it on here. Where's the regional championship this next year?
I think it's Grand. I think Grand.
I think you're right.
I think it's
Grand. Yeah, I think you're right. Grand Lake, Oklahoma. Great fishery.
Because, again, I looked at it. Yeah. I looked at BFLs. Hey, I like the schedule, mostly other than August, Sam Rayburn. Where's the regional? Grand Lake? I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
That's
Grand.
7-hour drive from here for us, 7
I'm not going to Grand for that payout.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah. No, and that's what's hurting you guys on the MLF. I'm telling you, if you don't get your payouts right, you're going to start losing
I'm
guys.
not coming to Grand for that payout.
Yeah, no.
So, couple questions here, Steve. Andy commented, they're talking about Bass Champ. Stop letting everyone fish a championship because they fish all 4 events. Go back to the top 50.
Oh, yeah.
Or 75.
Yeah.
Andy, that's a really good comment.
Yeah.
And actually was talking to that about some guys here this past week that went and fished the championship and said, OHIW was awesome. We'd have loved to have fished it if there wouldn't have been so many boats.
Yeah, exactly.
So I would like that. I think as fishermen, we would all like that better, but obviously we know why Bass Champs is doing what they're doing.
Right.
Because they get more participation overall if you pay all your entry fees, or if you can't be at a tournament, hey, I'm going to pay my entry fee so I can go to championship.
Right.
So I get why they're doing it, but yes, as us fishermen, we would have probably liked to see top 50 go.
And then I can tell you, I've been fishing these kind of circuits since the mid-'90s, and I'm going to tell you the honest truth. I think when you tell me it's a championship event, that to me means it should be an elite group of guys that the best of the best going. Not everybody getting to go. I'm with you on that. I don't like those circuits where everybody gets to go to the championship, or if you fish all the events you're in. I'm sorry, but I do know why tournament directors do this. They are catering to the masses, not to the few. Let's just be honest. The championship group is the few, but they're trying to give guys the ability to travel to, and maybe in early fall to go somewhere and have a event.
Just me thinking out loud here. Championship, they give away 2 boats, correct?
Some places they do, yes.
The Bass Champs Championship gives away 2 boats.
Bass Champs does, yeah.
Why not have 2 different championships?
Yeah. Well,
why could Bass Champs not just completely separate into 2 different championships?
One thing that I like, and you guys don't have a clue what I'm fixing to talk about here. Boss Tournament Trail. It's out of Shreveport. It's Bayou Outdoors Tournament Trail. At the end of the year, they have a championship, and it's the same kind of deal. A lot of people can get in it, but based off of your standings, there's 2 boats they give away. And they divide the tournament up before it ever starts. This group of guys is fishing for the big Skeeter 20-footer. You other guys are fishing for an aluminum Ranger. And they divide it up right off the bat. And they separate those guys. And especially after day 1, you go one division or the other. And day 2, you know what you're fishing for. But it gives those lower tier guys, because they know they're not going to beat some of those upper tier guys. They don't have a shot to win in the 20-foot boat. But they might win that other one.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yes, I know Boss used to do that. And, man, that would be something for something Bass Champs possibly consider. Either separate and have 2 completely different championships,
based off your points,
or have championships, based off points, and a bigger championship, but a lesser championship that's just for your bottom. I like that idea.
Your top 25 maybe fish for the big boat, and you 26 through 50 fish for this boat. Yeah. But again, I don't own a circuit. It's easy for me and Kevin to sit here and we got all the answers.
Absolutely.
But we are giving our opinion because we're anglers, Yeah. And let's face it, anglers, we're selfish people. Let's just be honest. I mean, we want everything just right for ourselves. But anyway, and hey, real quick, we're going to take another quick break. We're going to take our first break, matter of fact, recognize a few of our sponsors, and we're going to have more on the 22 Bass Tournament schedule. We got some more we're going to go over, and when we return with more Tackle Talk Live, we'll be right back.
Toledo Health is a full-service primary and acute care clinic. Nurse practitioners Jarrett Rule and Melissa Vines bring quality health care that's needed and convenient to the area. Whether it's a stomach virus or a hook in your hand, Toledo Healthcare will try and meet all your healthcare needs. Appointments available and walk-ins are always welcome. So the next time you're feeling down at Toledo Bend, stop by Toledo Healthcare, located on Highway 6 just south of Toledo Town, or you can call 318-508-5323. For all your boating needs, check out Shreveport's newest marine dealer, The Boat Shop. Raymond Kidd and his great staff will take care of all your engine repair needs or anything else that needs fixing. A certified Yamaha Mercury dealer, they carry 2 of the best fishing boats on the market, from Sea Arc and Camus. The Boat Shop is never short on trade-ins, as they're always willing and able to make you the best deal possible. Looking for great boat accessories? They're a full support Garment and Minn Kota dealer. So the next time you're in the market for a new or used boat, or maybe you just need to service the boat you have, let the Boat Shop fix you up. To learn more, call 318-402-0399 or go to ShreveportBoatShop.com. The next time you're on I-49 just south of Natchitoches, Louisiana, stop by Cypress Knee Outdoors. A store within a store, Cypress Knee is located inside 3J's 4-Way. Whether you need gas, food, or drinks, they have it. While you're there, check out Cypress Knee Outdoors and pick up whatever hunting or fishing tackle you need. Top name brands like Strike King, Santone, Spro, or the #1 soft plastics made, V&M. On the hunting side, they carry guns from Mossberg, Winchester, and Remington. Plus, they've got a great supply of ammunition. Let John Abram and his staff show you everything Cypress Knee has to offer. Located just 1 mile east of 127 on I-49 or call 318-238-HUNT. You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Now back to the guys with all the inside scoop, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
You're watching Tackle Talk Live. Thank you for tuning us in today. This segment presented by Pride Rods, Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, and the Lakes Insurance of Nacogdoches, Texas, along with Lone Star Bass Trail. And Kevin's going to tell us a little bit about that.
Lone Star Bass Trail, guys, if you haven't liked them on Facebook, make sure to like and follow. It's got some big things coming up this fall. They do MLF style formats. He's working on, and I know he's getting together some fall tournaments for Toledo Bend and Lake Nacogdoches over there for East Texas. You guys, he's kind of venturing out from Sam Rayburn for people that want to fish other things. Very cool tournaments. He did the Ironman tournament back in August, which is a different style tournament. Again, just trying to put on some different style tournaments to fit different anglers and give us something different to do. So make sure you like the Facebook page, Lone Star Bass Trail.
All right, we're going to continue with our preview of the upcoming 2022 bass fishing tournament trails and their schedules. And next, the ABA Solo 150. This is a circuit that cranked up last year. Chris Wayan heads this up, and ABA's got 2 divisions in this. They've got a Southeastern Division, which is Alabama, Florida, over in that region, and we have this one over here, the Southwest Division, which is basically Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. And but Kevin, I know you've got some issues with this schedule. There's some things that I think you feel like.
Don't get me wrong, Steve. Yes, I mean, Chris Wayan. Good friends with Chris. Chris does a great job. He puts on a great tournament.
Yes.
I really like fishing Chris's tournaments. I'm not a fan of this schedule, and I understand why he's doing it.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I believe starting a circuit out, especially like this, you've got to start smaller. He's starting
broad.
Very, very broad. So March 18th, Texoma. April 22nd, Eufaula. June 17th, Sam Rayburn.
Yeah.
So he is trying to cater to Oklahoma to Texas guys. You know, this East Texas all the way to Oklahoma, I think it's too broad.
Right.
Me, myself, I might try to jackpot like the Sam Rayburn one this year, but I don't want to commit all that time to 3 tournaments because of practice and everything, of traveling like that.
Right.
I mean, you go back to the Toyota Series, how broad they used to be.
Right.
They have really honed in on a smaller zone.
Right.
Because right here in East Texas, we have the lakes, we have the number of fishermen. And again, my opinion, Chris does a great job. I just think you would get a bigger draw, and it would fill up a whole lot sooner. Let's just say if you did Sam Rayburn, Toledo Bend, Lake of the Pines.
Right.
I know you're excluding those Oklahoma guys. I know it kind of, and this might be a scheduling issue. I'm just.
It could be. It could be a ramp deal. You're right.
It could be a ramp deal. But I feel like it would do better,
right,
if it was honed in a little bit more in the zone.
And here's what I'm gonna say about the Solo 150. Some of you, and talking to some guys like Castledine, Andrew Upshaw, some of these guys are going to fish this circuit this year for one reason: payback. You're looking at a great payback with it. It's probably, even according to those guys, the best payback of any circuit that's out there.
There's no doubt about
that. The payback is unreal. For only a $600 entry fee, a 2-day event. They're Friday and Saturday events, so you're back home on Sunday, and so that's what I have liked about it, is the fact that this was designed originally to fill in for the Toyota, which was the old Everstar, the old Redman, when we were paying $800 for a tournament instead of $1,800 now for a tournament. It was designed to hit a different market of anglers that want to fish. High payback of $20,000 payback for $600 entry fee, and that's what it's designed to do. But again, Kevin's point is he feels like it's too broad. again, Texoma's Texoma. It's not a great fishery. If you'd have put Toledo Bend on there, maybe it'd been a home run. I don't know, but I know
last year he did Sam Rayburn, Toledo Bend, Eufaula.
Yeah.
You know, for us, that was
great.
That was okay, and we got to go away once.
Right.
You know, now you're going away twice out of 3 tournaments.
Right.
The payout is great. Don't get me wrong, but
now being the last one on Rayburn, how many guys you think will probably follow the whole circuit because the last one is at Rayburn?
Well, you go back to what happened last year at Eufaula.
Yeah.
I mean, how many of those guys didn't go to Eufaula because they wasn't in the running?
Yeah.
You know, so you're
and
going
Eufaula
to have,
turned out to be, those of you who didn't go to Eufaula, me and I'll be honest with you, Louisiana guys dominated that tournament.
Yeah.
Dominated it. And it would turn out to be a great event. Rained like it was unbelievable. Had a 5-foot rise on the lake in 3 days, believe it or not. It was, but it turned out to be a great event. A lot of fish were caught. And I think it's another reason he did ask a lot of guys, and they said they wanted to go back there. They loved the fishery. Great ramp facility, great community, just a great place to have a tournament. So, and again, Texoma, going to be out of Highport Marina. Sam Rayburn. Now, all your ABA tournaments, I don't care if it's a solo, I don't care if it's the Open Series, they will all be out of Castle Boykin. They will not go out of the south end of the lake. They're going to be on the north end of the lake. And that's a draw. That's a lot of guys will just soon be up there because that's where they're going anyway. So, but anyway, keep that in your mind. All right.
I like it. I wish I could fish that, but now what if he would have done 2 again? I don't know how entries are going, but I just, if he'd have done 2 in Oklahoma for those Oklahoma guys and then came to Sam Rayburn, are you going to get more Oklahoma guys?
Well, we're going to find out.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out.
You got Texoma.
I guess we'll find out.
And, of course, that's that Dallas group over there, that Northeast Texas group. That's the guys that are going to pull in there. But anyway, all right, next, Texas Team Trail. I mean, it's an argument for some guys, which is better, Bass Champs or Texas Team Trail. I mean, probably flip a coin, but
they both are very well ran organizations.
Yeah.
They've been doing it the longest, probably the 2 biggest tournament trails. Texas Team Trail covers most of Texas,
right?
Whereas Bass Champs cuts down into regions. I mean, you can look at the schedule right here. February 19th, Sam Rayburn. March 19th, Cedar Creek. April 23rd, Texoma. May 21st, Sam Rayburn. June 11th, championship is at Choke Canyon. So, Steve, Texoma on the schedule again. I want to meet or talk to the Texoma people that can get all of these dang tournaments.
They're right. I'm telling you, they're reeling them in. And
in April, and they're getting them when they need to get them.
Yeah.
Props. Hats off to you.
Whoever's in charge of that is doing a great job.
And again, Sam Rayburn twice again, and again, no Toledo Bend. So,
yep. Toledo Bend has, of all these schedules, Toledo Bend has been totally neglected. Outlaw Team Series. Of course, it's a Sam Rayburn circuit.
Yes, Sam Rayburn circuit. So it's all, of course, a Sam Rayburn. January 29th, February 26th, March 12th, April 16th, and June 4th through the 5th is the championship. Again, that's the Outlaw Team Series.
And see, that's a good date, June 4th and 5th. Not too hot yet.
Right.
It's just, you ain't got into the heat of the summer yet. So I like their schedule the way it's set up.
And then, Steve, real quick.
Clinton Stacy does it. They do a great job.
Oh, yeah. They'll have the Sweet 16 that they do.
Yeah.
The Sweet 16 turn schedule. It's not on here, but they've got the Sweet 16 circuit that they do as well. Clinton Stacy also put on the Rattle Trap tournament. It will be January 16th. And then, Steve, we have not announced this yet, but next year, 2022, Clinton Stacy Outlaw Outdoors also puts on the V&M Baits tournament. We usually have it in September every year.
Right.
We're changing it next year.
Okay.
So next year, V&M tournament will be on Saturday, May 7th.
Oh, moving it up into the late spring.
We finally got an open weekend that we could put it on.
Now, will that be out of Humphrey or?
That won't be out of Humphrey.
That'll be out of
That
Humphrey.
won't be out of Humphrey. So May 7th, V&M tournament will be going out of Humphrey.
And keep this in mind for this year, November 20th, the Rayburn Toy Bash. That tournament, this was also run by Outlaw Outdoors. First place is $1,500. It's a, let's see here, entry fee per team is 2 toys valued at $30 each, and or $60 cash, whichever one you want to do. Optional side pot, $100 per team, 100% payback on the side pot. It'll be out of Humphrey Pavilion, November 20th. You guys still that aren't wanting to hit the woods yet, want to be on the lake, that's a great event to participate in right there.
So, Steve, looking at all of this, looking at these schedules, of course, regionally, the Bass Champs East Region, San Raven, Toledo being, but, I think Cowboy, the BFL they got Rayburn, Toledo, and Lake of the Pines.
Yeah.
They did a good job of getting those lakes there. I still don't like the August 27th on Sam Rayburn.
Right.
So, they did a good job there, but you can look down at a lot of these tournaments and
well, and too, when I look at the ABA East Texas Open Series.
Yeah, what do you got there?
February 5th, Lake of the Pines. Great place to start. Great turn. If the water's up on Lake of the Pines, there'll be some big bags caught. Now, that's going out of Johnson Creek Corps of Engineer ramp. And I would anticipate 75 boats probably in that, if I had to guess. February 19th, Palestine. I just got back from over there this year. The Villages. That's another good lake, especially in the springtime. Cedar Creek. I've never been to Cedar Creek. That's March the 5th. That's at a log cabin ramp, whatever that is. I've never been to Cedar Creek.
I've been there. I actually fished a Bass Championship there several years ago. And it's when are you going there? When is it?
That's East Texas Division goes there March the 5th. Good lake?
Good lake. It'll be a great time to go there. That is a tough lake to go to May, June, July because it is all jet ski and wakeboarders and all of that. So really good time of year to be there. It's got some big ones in it.
And then May 14th, Texoma.
What do you know?
High Port Marina, May 14th. I may even just drive over to participate. ABA Open Series, South Texas Division, all Rayburn. That's what it's always been. I do wish now, we used to do rotating. I've talked to Chris Wayan about let's go back to rotating Rayburn Toledo again. I think it helps that circuit when we do that. April 16th, Rayburn, May 7th, June 4th, June 11th. Now, understand, these dates are real close to each other. Again, boat ramps availability. That is the key, and that is the problem. All these circuits are having trouble with scheduling boat ramps. So that's why they're so tight. But the South Texas Division, again, May 7th, June 4th, June 11th, and then the championship, 2-day championship, will be at Lake Palestine, Texas, at the Villages, where I just fished over there this past about a month ago. And great facility at the Villages. You people do a great job there, by the way. If you haven't been to, that's a nice place. Nice place to have a tournament.
Steve, I tell you who we should have had on as a guest today. If we really wanted to open this soapbox up, we could have had Keith Neighbors on today. Keith still been tackled.
Oh, I bet Keith's got a couple
because
of comments.
I bet when Keith sees all this and see how few Toledo bins we have, I bet Keith has a lot of comments because Keith is diehard. Why everybody always used to come to Toledo at least once.
I'm going to put it to you this way. If I'm a business owner at Toledo Bend,
I'm not happy.
I'm not happy. Me and the SRA, we fixed to have us a little talk because that is not right for nothing to be coming to Toledo Bend. Basically nothing.
Champs is coming.
Champs is one time.
Champs coming twice.
Right.
Cowboy Division's coming once.
But, yeah, there used to be every weekend something was at Toledo Bend. Now you got, 3 or 4 major events, and that's it?
Toyota Series is not coming back.
Yeah.
Bass Open hasn't been back since Gleason won several years ago.
Right.
Solo 150 is not coming back.
And people think that it's because of
Texas
the fishing.
Team Trail is not coming. It's not because of the fishing.
I'm telling y'all, fishing is the last thing on their list.
If it is because of fishing, why are we going to Texas? Why is everybody out there going to Texoma?
Or why is anybody going to Red River? We're Red River guys. I'm excited about that, but I'm just telling you, majority of the guys that are fishing, Red River's not at the top of their list to bodies of water to go fish, and neither is Ross Barnett. But anyway, well, Kevin, I think that's going to wrap us up for. Oh no, you got something else?
Well, we got to go. We got some more sponsors.
Yep, we got to take another quick break. We're going to take one more break, and Kevin's got some good stuff he's going to talk about.
So after this break, the KBF National Championship was on Caddo Lake last week. Steve, some great. This is the kayaking.
Yeah,
kayak fishing National Championship was on Caddo Lake. Some great bags brought in and caught. We're going to talk about that right after break.
And that's becoming more and more popular. Let's take a quick break, recognize a few of our sponsors, more on the 2022 Bass Champ tournaments when we return with more Tackle Talk Live. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for the finest custom-built rods ever made? Then look no further than Pride Rods. Fishing rods built to last and made in Montgomery, Texas. Constructed by Mr. Billy Kistler with the finest Gary Loomis North Fork composite blanks available. They offer a complete line of both spinning and casting rods for both fresh and salt water. Pride Rods do more than pass the eye test. They excel in performance as well. Ask your local tackle dealer if they carry Pride Rods and pick one up and try it for yourself. You'll see why so many anglers are using Pride Rods. To learn more, go to priderods.com or call 832-418-6040. The next time you're headed for Toledo Bend or Sam Rayburn, stop by Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle. They have an awesome supply of everything you'll need to catch the big ones. Whether your trip calls for bass fishing, white perch tackle, catfish bait, or the ultimate fighting shiners, Keith's Tackle has you covered. Keith and former Elite Series pro Ben Matsubu also have the latest information on what, how, and where you need to be fishing on Sam Rayburn or the Bend. So for all your tackle needs, check out Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, located just off Highway 21 on the Texas side of Toledo Bend, or call 409-625-0181. The Lakes Insurance Agency is an independent insurance agency that has been taking care of Texans' insurance needs for over 25 years, offering auto, homeowners, boat, RV, life, health, and commercial insurance. Owner Clark Moore is a local guide and tournament angler who understands your insurance needs and wants to be your go-to guy for all your insurance needs. For a free quote, give him a call and see why so many Texans trust the Lake Insurance Agency. Located at 805 Southeast Stalling Suite 3, Nacogdoches, Texas, or call 936-205-4467. You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Now back to the guys with all the inside scoop, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
Thank you for tuning us in. You're watching Tackle Talk Live. We're back with the final segment. Kevin's going to talk about a couple of things here. That one big event that's, folks, this is kayak fishing is becoming more and more popular. So listen to the results of this event. This was the Nationals in Shreveport.
So on Caddo Lake, this is a 3-day tournament. They take the top 15 fish. I'm assuming 5 fish a day.
Yeah.
And it's over in inches. So, Steve, I'm going to try my best with his name. Guillermo Gonzalez, 3 days, top 15 fish, was 303 inches. Okay, Steve, so that's an average of 20 inches per fish.
For 3 days.
For 3 days. So a 20-inch fish is a 4-pounder.
4 or 5 pounder.
So that's averaging your 5-pound stringer is around a 20-pound stringer 3 days in a row.
Every day.
Now, this is
60
Caddo.
pounds of fish.
This is Caddo.
Yeah,
they can measure and release, kind of like MLF style, but they measure and release. So all the slot fish count.
Yeah.
A reason I think they come to Caddo. Great tournament place for that. So 20-inch average. Second, I mean, it was 303 inches. Second place was Cody Milton, was 300 inches. Matthew Scotch was third place with 294 inches. Fourth place, Joe Lazzalotti, was 292 inches. And fifth place was Garrett Wade at 290 inches. So, I mean, that's some really good stringers caught on Caddo Lake.
Caddo Lake showed out a little bit. And the thing about, these kayak guys, just to give you an idea of how these tournaments take place, when they catch a fish, they put it on a board and they have to take a photo of it with their phone. So they record each fish, and then they bring that total in based off those photos. And of course there's rules and other regulations that they have to, just like you would in any other bass tournament. But the thing about these kayak guys, they can get in backwater places that us big 20-foot bass champs Bass Cat or Ranger boats or skeeters, we can't get in those places. So they have access to areas, Kevin, that they can get behind those tree lines.
Well, and they're not in a big old boat making a lot of noise either.
And that's a key point that you just talked about right there. How many fish would we catch if we just didn't have our trolling motors?
I think most of them have trolling motors, though, don't they?
Well, some of them are paddle. They paddle with these. Some of them have trolling motors. But, again, it's it's just a different way the stealth opportunity for a kayak guy versus a bass boat guy is night and day. So I think it allows them to catch more fish. But anyway, congratulations to those guys. Job well done. Nick LeBrun. Hey, Kevin, you couldn't be more proud as president for V&M of those two guys at the Smith Lake tournament.
Steve, I mean, V&M pro staff goes 1-2 at the Bassmaster Open on Smith Lake. Jacob finished first, mainly fishing the V&M vertical shad.
Jacob Porosnik
with the V&M vertical shad over there. Nick LeBrun, who led the first 2 days, fell to second on the final day. He finishes second throwing the drop shad. So we had first place vertical shad, second place drop shad, both V&M Baits. Great week for V&M, getting a lot more accounts over there, carrying those products. Steve, you talk about a stressful final day. I wanted Jacob to win.
Yeah. Because
whoever wins goes to Classic. So I wanted Jacob to win because he is very, very good on Hartwell.
Right.
And he finished fifth, at the last Classic on Hartwell, and he had a chance to win it.
Yeah.
Jacob loves Hartwell, loves it that time of year. He will be a major contender at that Classic. So I wanted Jacob to win.
Right.
Also wanted Nick to win.
Yeah.
I'm good friends with them both, but also wanted Nick to win because Nick's never fished a Classic before.
Right.
Now his time's coming. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But so that was a tough. I wanted both. I want them to tie and just let both of them go to the Classic.
One thing that really, I had a chance to interview Nick last Wednesday and talk to Nick about his breakdown of the event and throwing the V&M drop shad. Listen to this. His boat's in 100 foot of water.
Jacob's was too.
100 foot of water. And when you're from our region, when you get over 20 foot, that's considered deep for us. Really, 10 foot for me is considered deep. But talking to Nick, he said, now don't get me wrong, I wasn't catching fish on the bottom in 100 foot of water, but those bait fish were suspended in 35, 40 foot of water and dropping that V&M drop shot down there in vertical jig. He said, that's how you caught it. He said, and the live, he has Lowrance.
He has Lowrance live target.
And he said, without that, he said, I wouldn't have had a shot. He said that saved the day.
And Jacob, I was talking to Jacob over the weekend. He said, of course, he was doing the same. Jacob was over 100 foot water. They could see each other.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said it was within sight of each other.
And he said he had one tree that stood up in the water column off bottom. He said it was like 85 foot deep. This tree come up to it was 15 foot below surface.
Yeah.
Is where the top of the tree was. And he said it was just a magical tree. Every time he came by, he'd catch a good chunk off of it.
Yeah.
He said he give it a break for about 15 minutes, come back by and throw that vertical shad over and let that vertical shad just fall. And as it's falling, they'll come out of the tree and eat it.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Congratulations, both those guys.
Yes, absolutely. Steve, one thing, and I had a buddy text me, and we are forgetting about the Texas Oilmans and Louisiana Oilmans on Toledo Bend.
I understand. I thought about that earlier.
SRA is a huge supporter of both. And guys, maybe we got a little hard on Toledo Bend here, but we are just.
That's even debatable. We didn't really get that hard. We could get harder.
It's just it's hard for us living where we live, especially me being homegrown from Toledo Bend. To see all these tournament trails that used to come to Toledo Bend that don't come back. That's what's hard for us. And we don't know whose fault it is. Maybe the past couple of years, maybe it just has been the tough fishing. That Toledo Bend's not what it used to be, but I don't understand why we're leaving Toledo Bend, going to these places like Texoma. Nothing on Texoma, but it's going to take more weight to win Toledo Bend than Texoma.
And it can't be like a Ramps, because I know Lost Frontier over there, they're looking for tournaments to come in there to their location, which is the old Frontier Park on the Texas side of Toledo Bend. When you cross the bridge on your right, once you cross Carice Creek, you're at Frontiers on your right. Great place for a tournament.
Right there by Keith's Toledo Bend.
Yes, it used to be. Yeah, you'll drive right there by Keith's, and I'm telling you, they have completely redone Lost Frontier Park. If you hadn't been there, you need to stop by. Great restaurant, great fishing facilities, and a great place for a tournament. So check it out.
But going back to that, we don't know whose fault it is. I guess I should say that.
We don't.
We don't know whose fault it is. But
I do know Linda Curtis Sparks has retired.
She has.
I wonder, has that had an impact? I don't know. We'll have to do some digging on that and find out what's going on with that. Because I know when Linda's was in charge, there was a lot of major tournaments came to Toledo Bend.
Yeah, but she just retired, Stephen. We haven't had any big ones in a couple years.
Yeah.
So again, we don't know whose fault it is. We just hate to see all these tournaments not coming back to Toledo Bend like they used to.
You know, we might can get Linda on. She's retired.
Can we get? Okay, let me ask you this: can we get Keith and Linda on
at the same time? I'm not going to be a referee, okay? So, I don't want to do that.
We do. We need to find out why. Why are these tournaments not coming back to Toledo Bend?
And people need maybe have
Chris. We need to ask Chris. Weigh in. Why are you?
Yeah.
He had the same turnout at Toledo Bend as he did Sam Rayburn.
What keeps you from going to Toledo?
Why are you not coming back to Toledo Bend?
Is it boat ramps? You know, lack of dates. What is it? But Linda having her on, she can give us some insight as to what they have to go through to get a tournament in there.
And she might can tell us why people are telling her no.
Yeah.
Or have told her no.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to look forward to that. We're going to try to do some digging over the next 2 weeks. We'll try to have some of these people lined up and right here on Tackle Talk Live. Maybe you can send in your questions. Maybe you got questions for them as well.
And also, we're working on trying to line up the gentleman who won the kayak bass fishing tournament on Caddo with them massive stringers that they caught. And just to hear his opinion, we're working on all this for you guys. So hopefully next week, sounds like next week we could have a good show.
Yep. It's going to wrap us up for today. We appreciate you tuning us in. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, whatever.
James, are we forgetting anything else?
Facebook, whatever.
We got Google Podcasts.
Google Podcasts. And so thank you, James. James works hard on all that kind of stuff. If you'd like to become a member of our sponsorship team, hey, please message us on our Facebook page. Kevin will make sure he gets a packet out to you ASAP. For Kevin Jean, producer James Stanfield, and yours truly, Steve Graff, thank you for tuning us in. We'll see you next week with more Tackle Talk Live. Have a great week, everybody.